Hey there, it's Simon Hurley from Inkclips, and I'm here at Scrapbook.com, super excited to be sharing lots of information about stamping with you guys today. So let's start off with the history of the stamps. So these are super awesome, some vintage stamps in here. This first one's actually a wax seal, so it's a metal seal. It's got that really fun initials on there with this little handle here. Then we go into some of the self-inking stamps here. These are super fun, really heavy, but they're self-inking, and you can create dates and different prices and things like that with them, which is really awesome. And then you have this large stamp set that comes in this kind of luggage bag, which I think is super awesome. And this is a huge ink pad right here, but this is what teachers would use to create their worksheets for students back in the 1950s. So if you guys think copy machines are difficult or things like that, imagine having to ink up your stamps and do each worksheet individually. So even the teachers back then were into stamping. So this giant metal ink pad and all of these fun map stamps in here. These are super cool. Take a look at these. So they're like roller stamps, and they've got some really cool map designs on them. So these are rubber too, and they would switch them out and create some fun worksheets with them, which I think is super awesome. If I was a student back then, I would love to stamp my own worksheet. And it comes in this fun little luggage bag too, which I think is really cool, and I wish that stamps today came in these too. Now I'm going to share some of the more modern day supplies you can use for all of your stamping needs. So first you have the wood block stamp. Now this is kind of what got first started with more of the modern stamps. So this is a red rubber stamp. It's got a little bit of cushioning there, so it'll make sure that it stamps really nicely. And then you've got the block to it too. So this wood block is a little bit bigger, so it takes a little bit more to store. But if you have stamps you really love in this, it can be really easy to just pull them out, stamp them down, and put them back on your shelf. Then you have something similar to that red rubber cling stamp. This one is just cling without the actual block. So these are a little bit easier to store. There's lots more images on one sheet like this. And I'll peel one off here. So this has that cling mounting onto it. So you'll still get that same amount of cushioning. And it's got that nice red rubber too, which transfers the ink really nicely onto the surface. Then we're going to move into a card maker's dream for stamping. This is what I love to use the most for sure. So these are clear stamps. And basically the advantage to using clear stamps is you can see right through them when you're stamping. So you can tell exactly where you're going to stamp them on your project. And also they're really easy to store. Look how thin that is. So you can store lots of these in a drawer or in like a case and have tons of them to work with. So you can really grow your collection like this. Now with clear stamps, it comes on a backer sheet like this. I'll peel one stamp off here, and then you're going to need an acrylic block. So acrylic blocks are just a thick piece of acrylic, and they have grid lines on them sometimes, which is really nice. You just set your stamp right onto that acrylic block, and there you have your stamp mounted, and you can start out stamping with it. Then you have background stamps. Now there's two types of background stamps. You can get them clear or the cling mounted. They come both ways. So like I said, these are more easy to store, but I do love the red rubber cling stamps. These transfer the ink super nicely, and you could really get a great impression with these. So now let's talk about some of the basic supplies you're going to want to get with your stamps. So let's first start off by talking about inks. These are definitely my favorites. I love getting inky and using these for all my crafting projects. So there's lots of different inks on the market you can use. So first let's start off talking about black inks, since you're going to want to use those the most. So you have Momento Tuxedo Black. This is a great ink for Copic marker coloring or alcohol marker coloring to use on all your projects, and it won't bleed when you're using that. So it's really friendly with Copic markers. Next, you have some of the waterproof inks. So there's Ranger Archival ink. This won't bleed when you use watercolor with it, which is really nice. There's also VersaFine, and this is a pigment ink. So it stays wet for a little bit longer, which means you can emboss. And also, it's really great for watercoloring too, and gives you some really crisp results. Now this Scrapbook.com premium dye ink is also really good for watercoloring, and it won't bleed when you create your watercolor designs with it. Then you have the Stays-On ink, and this will stay onto any surface. So if you have plastic or anything like that, and you want to stamp with this ink, it'll really stick nicely to those surfaces. Now next is the black Scrapbook.com hybrid ink. Now I've been talking about some inks that are waterproof and some inks that are alcohol marker friendly. Now this Scrapbook.com black hybrid ink actually works with both of those. So it won't bleed when you're using watercolor, and it won't bleed when you're using alcohol marker. Sometimes you just want to make sure to give it a nice heat set before you start working, and then it'll be nice and dry to use with whatever medium you have. And Scrapbook.com also has hybrid inks in lots of different colors too. So they won't bleed when you're creating different projects. So if you're stamping and you want to color with alcohol markers or watercolors over top of them, they won't bleed as well, but they also do blend really nicely on your projects, which is great. Next, we have some specialty inks. So there's Distress ink and Distress oxides. Now these are really great, and I'll share a little bit more using them later on, but they're really specialty inks. They're really great for water techniques and create some really cool effects on your cards. Now you'll notice I'm holding up a little mini ink pad here. These are really cute, and they fit into some little tins. So you might see these around too, and these are great to purchase. They're a little bit less expensive, and they're great for traveling or if you want to build up a collection of lots of colors at once. Now there's also embossing inks, and these are great to hold your embossing powder on the surface. So we have a little baby Versamark ink pad here, and there's also Distress embossing ink and some larger embossing ink pads as well. Now getting into embossing is really fun too. When you're doing stamping, embossing is a really big part of it because it can create some really cool resist effects on your cards and give you some cool shiny effects too. So there's a whole wide array of different embossing powders. I tend to use clear embossing powder and white embossing powder the most, but there's lots of different gold colors and things like that too that give really awesome shiny effects on your cards. Now with embossing powder and embossing ink, you're going to also want a powder tool. This makes sure that the embossing powder doesn't stick wherever you don't want it to on your card, so you're going to want to apply this beforehand. And I'll share embossing later on in lessons as well. Now with embossing, you're going to want to set your embossing powder with heat, and that's when you want to use a heat tool. So this will just really easily and quickly heat your embossing powder to make it really nice and shiny, and it gives kind of a plastic coating on your surface when you're done, which is really cool. Now like I said, with lots of these inks, you can get some really cool and unique effects with blending and watercolor as well. So you're going to want some watercolor and blending mediums to really help use these inks to their fullest potential. So you have some stencil brushes here. These are the new Scrapbook.com stencil brushes, and they're really awesome for creating blended effects on your cards. Now with the stencil brushes, they create kind of a softer blend. You can start out really soft, and then you can layer it up, and they don't give any harsh lines on your project, which is really cool. And I'll use these later on in lessons as well. Now you also have little daubers, and these are really fun for blending on your cards too. They come in a unique little case like this, which is really easy for storage. You can have one for every ink color that you have. You can create some really awesome designs with these and blend through stencils and things like that as well. Now if you want a bigger blended effect, these are really easy to use to layer up colors. These are the Ranger Mini Ink Blending Tools. They got little pieces of foam on the end, so you just dip this into your ink and you can create some really cool layered blended effects on your projects. Now when it comes to watercolor, I like to use some different mediums to kind of make the inks move. So some of them react with water. You have this Nuvo watercolor brush. So this has water in the barrel here, and then when you open it, it's like a paintbrush that feeds you water as you do it. So you can use a regular paintbrush, but I find this to be really helpful when I'm creating my projects. Now I also like a little mister bottle. This is really great for getting a light mist over top of your projects and creating some watercolor effects on your cards as well. So with stamping, cleaning your stamps is very important to keep them nice over the years as you use them. So here is the Lawn Fawn Stamp Chamois. You can apply water over top of this and it gets really soft and it kind of becomes a little towel. You can wipe your stamps off with these really nice and clean. And if you have more harsh or stubborn inks, you also might want to apply a little bit of a stamp cleaner onto here too. There's lots of different stamp cleaners on the market that'll clean your stamps really nice so you can put them away in storage and be happy that they're nice and clean. Now some of them, like the clear stamps, will stain over time, which is completely fine. A stained stamp is a loved stamp. Now here are the Tonic stamping platforms. These are stamping tools that really help you get great results when you're stamping, to get new results, and they can really improve your stamping as well. I wouldn't be the stamper I am today without one of these for sure. So there's a mini one and also a larger one too. And these are really great. They're really nice and heavy duty. And you can use clear stamps, or if you flip it like this, you can use rubber stamps too. And we'll touch on these tools in later lessons to get some really cool effects when you're stamping. So now I'm going to share some of the projects that I've created, and we'll create these later on in the lessons. So here's a fun project that I did with just some black ink, and I used markers to do some watercolor on the inside there. So the stamped lines are the black lines there. You can get some really detailed stamped effects. Now here's a fun, unique way to stamp, and it's a really cool kind of shadow technique. And I'll share this later on. It's really interesting, the kind of results you can get with it. And I did some ink blending on the outside here with some watercolor technique. And there's also some stamps that work really well with dies too. So you'll see these fun dies here that create a really unique and modern look on the card. And then this fun card too is the longer card. This fits in a business size envelope, and you got lots of stamping in here. Instead of coloring the images in, I stamped them in with lots of the different Scrapbook.com hybrid inks there. Now for this card, I used those little stencil brushes on the outside to create a really soft blended effect. And then I stamped the inside with some flowers and kind of rolled the edges to get a variated look there with some colors. Now you don't just have to use cards. I'm personally just a card maker, so I love to create different card projects, but I really ventured out. And here is an art journal page that I created using stamping. We'll create this later on. It's really fun. I created some inks in the background. These are spray inks. And then I stamped lots of images around here to kind of finish off the page and create a really fun look in this journal. Now this is my first page, but I think I'm going to have to fill the whole journal. So join me for this fun stamping class where we dive into the joy of stamping and explore all of these fun and unique effects. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happy crafting!